Shelter, I adopted him in Fayetteville. Yeah,
Cute.
so no, he's been with me every step.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hear you talking about just finding the inspiration mentally to keep going, and
Yeah.
you're at a very different point in your career now. Where are you drawing inspiration at now?
I'm always looking for people that are a little bit different. You know, I think one thing that drew me to getting to speak to you was I saw some of the things you were doing, and I love the way that you're trying to make your mark and the way you're trying to create, you know, your own way of communicating to people in a positive way, and how you're trying to make a difference. And those are the types of people I'm drawn to. You know, people who see 99% of the world sees things one way, and I think there's 1% that sees it a little bit differently. And naturally, I always kind of gravitate to those people.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's still so much for me to learn, and there's still so much for me to grow from. And yeah, I've had some certain experiences playing sports, and that's been great. I mean, really, my joy comes from people. My joy comes from the relationships that I have. And I think my closest relationships, the most meaningful ones, are the ones where I get the most gratification from. That's
Yeah.
whether it's my children, my parents, my sisters, my great friends, people that are with you that through all these important times in your life, and you can really be yourself around. And I think for me, naturally, my guard's always a little bit up when I meet people, because I'm not quite sure, you know, at first, what they're looking for.
Yep.
And I think for me, to be around people that I can learn from, that's the best part of my life. And I've been very fortunate to be around some amazing people that have taught me grow in a lot of ways. They've taught me to think differently, taught me to approach things differently. And, you know, hopefully you create relationships where you're learning from people and they're learning from you. And then together, what you can do as teammates, and even my Noble family, you know, like how can we impact the world in this amazing way through our brand, through, you know, this mindset of whatever comes your way, you're gonna figure out how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna make excuses, you're not gonna be a victim, you're not gonna always blame other people. You know, how can you look at yourself every day and say, how can I be a little bit better for the people that are counting on me? How can I be better for my teammates? And whether your teammates, not just a metaphor, you know, your teammates could be your business people, could be your family, could be your kids. You know, how can I be better for them every day? So, you know, that's what we're trying to accomplish.
And I guess my thought is, you know, like as we've seen you just over your career, football, you've always been coachable. From my perspective, I don't know if you ever got into your own head. It's like, oh, I'm the greatest, I'm doing this, I got these rings. It's like, I feel like you had number 6 and you still coached to number 7.
Yeah.
And you're staying a student to life. Just how do you continue to do that? How do you not let things get to your head? And it's like, all right, I got to sit back and listen more.
Because in the end, I never really gave a shit about, you know, what people saying you're great, that is bullshit. You know, they say you're great, and then they'll say you suck, and then they'll say you're terrible, and they'll say you're overrated, and they'll say you're, you know, the coolest, and they say you're the worst. So it's not about what other people think. It's really about how you think about yourself. It's you know, who you look at in the mirror every day. You know, saying, am I proud of the person that I'm looking at in the mirror?